Yo, what is poppin' people? My name's OutofOrder. Welcome to the channel, and in this video I'm gonna be showing you guys just exactly how I made that Moe Shop You Look So Good edit slash typography slash lyric video, whatever you want to call it, that I made like 3 or 4 years ago. But before we do that, I just want to give a huge thank you to everyone for helping me reach 40,000 views on that video. Like, dude, that is just insane. That is just such a huge number. I can't even count to. So like, thank you guys so much for supporting me and helping me make that video. But yeah, I can't thank you guys enough for 40,000 views. That's just absolutely insane. Also, I want to give a disclaimer that this is not really a tutorial. It's more of just like a walkthrough and summary of how I did it and like basically all the effects and everything. It's not like a complete tutorial on like exactly how to do it, like step by step. It's not like a step-by-step guide, but yeah, that's basically a disclaimer. Anyway, without further ado guys, let's just get right into it. So basically all of the edit was made in Adobe After Effects. I didn't use any other program. I think pretty much 100% of it is made in here. So, dude, it's been like 3-4 years since I last opened this project. Like, dude, I'm surprised I still have this saved on my PC. Like, dude, it's just been so long since I last touched this thing. I guess let's just get right into everything. So we'll start off with the beginning on exactly how I did this. So first thing there is I added a background, which is right here. Oh wait, wrong one. This is the background right here. It's just a blue background. Basically, it's a gradient ramp, as you guys can see right here. I just picked blue because I didn't know what other color to do. We can change it or whatever, make it like pink, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So as you guys can see, the background's pretty much just the background. And on top of that right here is the little Japanese little characters I added over here. There's no effects on them at all. There's literally nothing. It's literally just text. If I turn off the color correction and the shake, you guys will notice that it looks pretty basic. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing going for it. So another thing is that each character, each single text and like letter or word is all on its own layer. So as you guys can see, this mountain of like red stuff right here, these are all words right here. They're all on their own separate layer. I didn't group them or pre-compose them or anything. Each single one is all on its own layer. So I could just disable like all of these right here, and you'll notice that it'll just be a blank screen if we can load it. And I'll explain why I made each single word on its own layer at the end of the video. There's a reason why I did that. But for now, let's just get back right into where we left off. So I added the background over here. It doesn't last that long. As you guys can see right here at the drop, it's when it disables and just turns off completely. I didn't add a fade or anything. I could add a fade by just pressing T on my keyboard, clicking opacity, and then just turning that to 0% and add a basic fade. But remember guys, I was like 12 when I made this. Dude, literally I had just learned how to use After Effects like a month ago. So this is basically what a month of knowing how to use After Effects looks like. Literally, I was like 12. I learned the program for a month, and I was like, you know what guys, I'm ready to jump into a big project already. And that's basically what happened. So you got the second little Japanese little characters over here, and if you scroll down further, you'll notice that the camera starts to pan. I'll get into camera movement next up once we get onto the actual thing right here. So you guys may notice that the visualizer is still there. So here's the visualizer right here. I just wrote it as equalizer, but as you guys can see, it stays throughout the whole entire thing. Like throughout the whole entire video and lyric video, the visualizer is there throughout the whole thing. It's this thing right here, this bar right here. I'll change the color. This bar right here stays throughout the entire thing. It doesn't go away at all. But what I did was I made it so that it changes colors. So if we press U on our keyboard, we can see right here that it goes from a white color to a red color. If you go really slowly, you can see the transition. And then I also added a hue interpolation effect, which basically is just a rainbow effect. So instantly it basically just goes from white to a rainbow. And as you guys can see, it's pretty sick, honestly. This is like my favorite part about the whole thing. I also added a glow on it, so as you guys can see, if we disable the glow, looks pretty boring, you know what I'm saying? Just doesn't really look that good. But with the glow, it looks amazing. And the glow stays throughout the whole thing again, as you guys can see, without the glow and with the glow. So that's the one cool thing about the visualizer. Anyway, so let's just get right into the complicated stuff. So here's the part. This thing stays throughout the whole entire thing. Obviously, each single word appears at its own little frame. So if we go a couple frames forward, the good will appear. We go a couple more frames forward, then the U appears, and we can just like we can make it like appear like right away. As you guys can see, if I turn this all the way up, it'll already be there when it goes down. But I like to have it appear kind of, so when it goes down then it appears. That's what I did with it. And because the visualizer is above everything, then it's basically a layer. So the visualizer is on top of everything. And so if we bring it down under over here, we scroll down and put it underneath, the U will be above it, but I think it looks better with it on top. So yeah. And basically this just goes throughout the whole entire lyric video. The whole entire lyric video, words are appearing. So as you can see, if I scroll forward, the I appears and then the no appears. So if we play this out, you'll notice how they appear. And so basically I just did that throughout the whole entire thing. As you can see, this probably took a couple hours to do. I think I made this project in literally a week. Like, I'm not even kidding. I think I made this lyric video in like under a week. And dude, honestly, I completely rushed it. Like, I like watching it now, I can see stuff where I messed up, where I'm like, oh, you know what, I shouldn't have done that, I should have done this instead. And I guess that's just me improving. You know, practice makes perfect. But yeah, I was like 12 when I made this. This is so bad. Like, literally looking back at this, I was cringing. But I was like, you know what, guys, I gotta do it for you guys. I gotta do a walkthrough, basically. Now, the part you're wondering the most about, the part you're probably like, wow, how did you do that, is that camera movement effect. So, you guys can see there's a camera up here. If we disable this, this is what it looks like. So that's basically what the edit looks like without any movement at all. So if we put the camera on, you'll notice how much better it looks. It looks a million times better. Without the camera movement, it just looks like poop. So yeah, I added a camera movement, and basically how I did this is super complicated. So I'm gonna try to explain this best I possibly can. This is gonna be a pain to explain. But basically the simplest way to explain it is my camera is connected to a null object right here. This thing's connected to this, which is basically just a path. So each of these little dots is a keyframe. So what that means is if we watch it without the camera actually activated, you'll notice that the camera follows a path basically, and each path is connected to keyframes. So if we press U on our keyboard, you'll see all this stuff right here, and this is basically super complicated. It's so hard to explain, but this right here is a position point. So think of it like a graph, all right? Think of it like geometry, all right? So you have a graph, you have a bunch of parabolas, whatever you guys do. So these little points are basically position points. So at this frame, the camera will be positioned at this part right here, 94, and the scale will be at 74, 74. And if we increase it over time, it'll go to 19. And the smaller the number is, the more zoomed in it is. So if we attach the camera, you'll notice how it zooms in here. It'll stay here for a couple frames. This right here is a copy of this right here. So if we go forward, it'll keep staying on this frame. And you'll notice a shake, but basically the shake is its own effect. So the shake without it, you'll notice that it's just basically very linear. So that's what it looks like without the shake. With the shake, it makes a huge difference. And basically these are duplicates, which is what I already said. So because of that, it moves over here, stays here for a couple frames, and then it transitions down here, stays here for a couple frames, and it goes here. And I basically just did that throughout the whole entire thing. And over here, you'll notice that there's an extra set of keyframes. As you guys can see, it's blank here, but up to here, there's more, which is, this is where it goes into like full 3D. So basically, right here is when it kind of transitions into a whole nother dimension. It goes from 2D to 3D, and this is even more complicated. I don't even think I can explain this, bro. I don't even know how I did this. When I was like, dude, what was I on, bro? How did I do this as like a 12-year-old, bro? I could be playing SpongeBob video games, but instead I was messing around with keyframes. It's so weird. But it goes into 3D here, and then it goes back to normal here, back to 2D. But you guys will notice that there's this thing right here. This is the blur effect. I blurred everything so that it looks like, you know, there's more depth. Like if the camera's focusing on this text right here and not focusing on the background. So that's how I did that. And then that's just basically the text right there. And I just did this throughout the whole entire edit, the whole lyric video. And then over here, I added a second visualizer right here. You guys will see this one. This one's a different shade of, this one's a different color entirely. It's not like a rainbow. But yeah, I added a second visualizer there. And then it basically just, everything I just explained, I just did throughout the whole edit. I just added more words appearing, more camera movement, and the shake just stays on throughout the entire thing. Without the shake here, we can play it again. Okay, so you might remember that earlier I said that I like to keep everything, I like to keep the text layer throughout the whole entire edit, and you're probably wondering why exactly. Why did I do that? Isn't that just gonna lag my PC, having to render all these useless things? Well, the reason I did that is so when you zoom out, everything shows. Because if I were to, let's say if I were to delete these, you'll notice that most of the stuff doesn't even show. But if I keep them, then you can basically see basically everything. And I did this at the end too. When I zoomed out at the end of it, as you guys can see, basically everything I did is there. And that's the reason why I kept everything. So if I were to just make these only last like 10 seconds, it wouldn't look that interesting. As you guys can see, it just looks whack. But yeah, that's the reason why I did that. But I think that's basically a really basic summary. The last thing I haven't the last thing I haven't covered is the color correction. So you might notice there's a glow on everything. So you're probably wondering, how did I do that glow effect? Well, it's so simple. I added an effect that basically just adds glow to everything. It's called Magic Bullet Looks. It's an amazing effect. You guys, everyone who watches my channel knows about it because I use this on all my edits and stuff. But Magic Bullet Looks is basically just, it just adds glow to everything. It looks super nice. Without it, it'll look like this. And without the shake and the glow, it just looks horrible, honestly. This is what it looks like without the glow and without the shake. It's just pretty bad. And to make things even more entertaining, let's do it without the camera. But yeah guys, I think that's gonna be the end of the video. I tried to explain everything best I possibly can. But obviously I left out so much stuff. Like, there's a lot of stuff I left out here, but I think I covered basically a majority of it. But yeah guys, I really hope you enjoyed. Honestly, thank you guys so much for 40,000 views. Really, dude, I can't thank you guys enough. Like, the fact that I made this so long ago and like people still watch it is like, it just amazes me, and like I really appreciate all of you guys. So yeah, leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you liked the video and the edit or whatever, just subscribe to stick around, because I'll make more tutorials in the future. I plan on making more edits and more typography. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed, subscribe, leave a like, and yeah guys, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace guys, I'm out. Later.